Okay. I keep starting my things with okay, but we just got another request, and this one's going to be pretty simple, but probably okay for this time of the year since it's still cold out. We're going to make marshmallows, and these are just going to be a plain vanilla flavored marshmallow. So, first thing to get going, we have a pot here. We're going to put in there 2 cups of sugar. We're going to put in a little bit of corn syrup. And this corn syrup is so that the sugar has a less chance of crystallizing. We're going to put in maybe half a cup, maybe a little less than half a cup. It's not you don't need an exact amount. The next thing we're going to put in there is just a little bit of water, and this is so I have 1 cup of water here. Only a little bit of this water is going to go in here. Maybe a third of a cup. The rest of it is going to go in my KitchenAid bowl. Okay, I think that's good. Put the rest in there. All right, so maybe you could split it half and half. In my KitchenAid bowl, though, I'm going to also add some gelatin to start it blooming. Now, I have 2 packs here. I'm going to use 1.5 packs of gelatin. But in order that I can be very precise about this, I'm going to use my scale. So this says 0.32 ounces. So I'm going to add another 0.16 ounces. Okay, so if you don't have one of these scales at home, you can just eyeball a half packet of gelatin. Or you can make a double batch and then it's just 3 packets of gelatin. But that'll be more marshmallows than you can possibly eat. So, if anything, err on the side of a little more gelatin. I'm just going to sprinkle this in over the water. Try to get it pretty even. And the water is going to hydrate this gelatin. Okay, we don't need this scale anymore. Put that aside, put this aside. As far as my sugar, I'm going to put this on the stove, and we're going to get this up to 240 degrees. And we're only going to stir this for the first few minutes. Otherwise, there's a chance that we could get this crystallizing as the sugar makes its way up the sides. So I'm just going to stir this in just a little bit to make sure the corn syrup and the sugar and the water are mixed. And then I'm going to rinse this off so I don't have any crystals of sugar on there. Because if any of those crystals gets in, once it's melted, chances are that the whole thing will just crystallize and you won't be able to melt it back again. Okay, while that's happening, it's going to take a little while. I have a glass dish here that I've lined with some cellophane or just plastic wrap. I'm going to put in there a little bit of powdered sugar, and I'm going to get this powdered sugar all over in there. Make sure there's enough at the bottom. From the static, you're going to see there's a light film of confectionery sugar that'll be everywhere on this. Get a little more. sides here. Okay, we're going to get rid of the rest of this powdered sugar once it's everywhere. And that's it. It doesn't look like very much on there.
Can you say it again?
This doesn't look like there's very much on there, but that'll be okay. Now let's check on our. We're gonna scrape some of these crystals that have gone on the side. I'm gonna scrape these down into there. And again, we're just gonna rinse our spatula off. And that's it. We're not going to mess with this anymore. We will check our temperature occasionally. We don't want to go over 240 degrees. Right now we're at 93 degrees. 90 degrees. Okay, so we'll come back in a few minutes and we'll show you the next steps. Alright, so we have our sugar almost up to temperature, 230 degrees. Remember, we're shooting for 240, just around there. And that's what's known as the soft ball stage. If we were to take some of the sugar, throw it in some cold water, when it came out, it would be a soft ball of sugar. If we go any further than that, our marshmallows will be very hard, like candy, or grainy. They will be like little bits of candy in it, and they won't be nice and smooth. All right, 235. You really need a candy thermometer for this. All right, there we are, 239. And we have just hit 240, but I want to make sure it's all 240. Okay, that looks pretty good. That's 240 degrees. Okay, we're just going to dump this all at once into the KitchenAid with our gelatin. Put it on there. Hook our whisk up, and we're going to put this at high. Now this is going to take a few minutes, so come back in a minute and we'll see where it's at. Okay, so this has been going for a few minutes now. Take a look in there. We're going to turn this down a little bit. That's really thick. We're going to add in about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Once this is incorporated in there, I'll turn it back up. Once all that vanilla is mixed in, and the bowl is just warm here, we're going to need to get this out of here because the gelatin is going to start setting up. And we're going to put it in our prepared dish. So it looks like that's all in there. And we need to do this while it's still a little bit liquidy. You can see it's already. All right, that's that. Now, we're just going to put this in the fridge and let it set up, and that's only going to take about an hour. And then we'll go to the next steps. All right, so our marshmallows been in the fridge now for about an hour, and you can see it's pretty set up. Start. You can see it's pretty hard. So we are going to take the powdered sugar and we're going to dust it all over the top. See, now it won't be sticky to my hands now because I got the powdered sugar on there. We're going to take some more powdered sugar. We're going to put it out on our counter, and we're going to just flip this over on there. We're going to hold the plastic wrap, and we're going to take our dish off. Then we're going to peel back our plastic wrap. And there you go. That comes right off. Now, this is a little sticky, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put some... This is just one giant marshmallow. My friend Reed would probably eat this entire thing by himself. All right, let's get rid of some of this extra. All right. Now, we're going to take our dish, and we're going to put in there a good amount of confectionery sugar. Okay. Now let's take a pizza cutter, if I can find one. No, you know what? We're not going to use the pizza cutter since I can't find one. We're going to use our bench scraper. And we are just going to, let's cut these right in half. This one. We'll cut this in half. This one. And now we can make, that's a good size marshmallow. And all the cut spaces, let's just put some more confectionery sugar on. You can see how sticky these things are. But once we have enough sugar on them, they won't stick together. We can make some a little smaller. And that's basically it. And they're ready to go in your hot chocolate or whatever. S'mores. And these are much softer than the store-bought ones. And they'll really, because of the gelatin, really melt nice into your hot chocolate, and they make your hot chocolate thicker. And that's it.